Okay, hello everybody. It's Gareth Jones here from Paris Technologies, and I got Sean Robinson from Ireland on the phone, and he's going to take us through his Rugby World Cup 2023 prediction. He calls it "Everyone's an Irishman" by Sean Robinson. Welcome, Sean. How are you doing today?
Hey, not too bad, Tiki. Always good. We're looking forward to the World Cup rugby, that's for certain.
For sure. So, Sean, take us through your predictions for the pool stages. The first pool, Pool A, you see France winning that first game.
Pool A, the first game, I reckon that the French, just watching the French, they're just too close. They're too good. They've been in 2 European finals. They've got all the players. They've got an under-20 side that's feeding into them. They've been good for a couple of years. Massive forwards. Good backs, exciting players, scrum half, best in the world, I would imagine at the moment. He could rate himself. I reckon France will take that pool. They'll beat New Zealand.
Look, I mean, we saw the under-20 games. France won the under-20 World Cup. New Zealand didn't even feature, but New Zealand has looked really strong in the Rugby Championship, beating South Africa and Australia with some ease.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much.
A little nervous about that.
I wouldn't worry too much about the build-up so far as the South Africans and the Kiwis before. I think that they're close enough that the Kiwis are just so accurate at the moment. But it doesn't take long for the South Africans to get accurate as well. Listen, you talk about the under-20s. That's quite right. It looks as if the Northern Hemisphere is strengthening up. It's quite encouraging. There's France and Ireland in the final. Ireland have won 2 back-to-back Six Nations at under-20 level. So they've got a nice feeder going into their first team. And the South Africans, well, geez, those guys are just good all round. They've got so many good rugby players. That
leads us on to your Pool B, right? The big clash, South Africa versus Ireland, and you're actually giving it to South Africa in the pool stage.
Yeah, I think that South Africa will probably they'll win that one. They'll win that pool. I think that Ireland might start a little bit slower, but let's see. I mean, that's my prediction. South Africa is strong. They've got forwards, to burn. They've got scrum halves. They're short of fly half at the moment, and you can't win a World Cup without a fly half. I don't think. You need someone who can score you those points. And South Africa, that's where they might fall short. But listen, they got the muscle, and but I think that their play will be worked out in the end. And a little innovative chip kicks and all that sort of thing from Johnny Sexton will undo them. At the back there, especially
tell me,
rotating.
Moving on to Pool C, right? You've given Australia the nod to win it, but you've chosen Fiji to come second, and that means that Wales would be out. So, what's your thinking there?
Wales have been struggling. They've had player discord at the moment, and they've. I see they're on some sort of Stalingrad camp again. To put them through their paces, which will bring the players together, but I think it's a bridge too far. I think he's got a young group. They're still rebuilding. He's not going to do it. Australia under Eddie Jones, he'll figure things out. He's struggling a little bit at the moment. 2 games at the helm, 2 losses, but he'll work things out. He's got plenty of players there.
What's interesting about Australia is their pack seems quite good, actually, which is normally their weakest point.
Yeah, I was surprised. They do, as rugby players, they're technically sound. They've obviously got a good coaching system. Technically, they are sound. And they've been scrumming against the All Blacks, so they'll be strong. They'll be there or thereabouts. They'll beat. And Fiji, I reckon. Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Fijians. I see that they're having a decent training camp, and looks as if Wales are struggling. I'm hoping that Fiji are going to take this one. It'll be a little bit interesting. A lot of those guys.
I love your prediction in Pool D. Argentina to win it, Japan to come second. It means England would be out. Listen, I think you're feeling pretty confident about Argentina after such an amazing win against Australia. They're getting better and better, aren't they?
Yeah, they haven't played too much together recently, so I think that this build-up is going to be important for them. I think they're going to do very well. They're going to just continue to improve, and they believe in themselves. They've taken some big scalps recently. They'll be on top. I've got Japan at second place. It means England are going home early, and I might have got that one wrong, but I haven't seen the Japanese play too much, but the English are struggling. And I think that
look, Japan has won some big games at the World Cup, that's for sure.
Yeah. Listen, they rise to the occasion. So I'm hoping that with the fans behind them, they'll something will happen.
All right. Well, if that went, if it goes like that in the pools, you're going to have a Australia Japan quarterfinal QF1. That doesn't seem to be too difficult for Australia.
No, Australia will win that one. Eddie Jones, he'll muscle them. They'll win that one quite handsomely. Then New Zealand coming second to South Africa. I think that the South Africans, they're going to field a nice. They lost this last weekend. They've got them at Twickenham again. These two teams will face each other pre-World Cup, so that'll be an interesting watch. But I think that South Africa are stronger than the Kiwis this year.
Right.
I think that the Kiwis are starting to find their straps, but they're still a little bit shaky. And I think that the Springboks are quite. They've got so many men. Then Argentina,
that'll
the
be a
next
great.
one, I think
would be a great quarterfinal to watch.
They'll
wouldn't
beat the
it,
Fijians. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Carry on. QF 3, Argentina, Fiji again. Like you'd think Argentina would be too strong, right?
Yeah, Argentinians, they are playing well. They've got big scrums, passionate guys. They'll be up for that game. So will Fiji if they make it through that far. Well, that'll be quite a nice one for them. But the Argentinas will take that, no problem. And then France,
and then
Ireland,
the big one,
QF4.
Wow,
What a game! If you're going to win this World Cup, you got to beat France at home, eh? And France. France and Ireland top the world rankings. France at the moment are very strong, but Ireland have beaten them in the Six Nations. I think Ireland have got their number if they keep all their players together. They've got a couple of injuries, but they've got a bit of depth as well. So hopefully they'll be able to work with with guys in the
Irish are comfortable playing in France.
Yeah, they play there every year, on and off. They'll know those stadiums. They've played them in the Six Nations. They've had France's number this year.
You're right.
They'll beat France, break a lot of hearts there. There'll be a lot of heartbroken French, and the referee, he better make sure he gets an escort. Because,
all right, well, that takes us to a pretty exciting semi-final there with South Africa playing Australia.
Yeah, South Africa playing Australia. I think that South Africa will prove again just too strong. They've got the scrum, they've got the locks. They've got so many men.
Very strong. Yeah.
I think that they will just outdo Australia. Australia are looking reasonable, but they've got they haven't won any games recently, and it's
that plays on your confidence.
That hurts you in confidence.
Yeah, they've got a tough one coming up against New Zealand this weekend. That's probably they will lose at home. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, but then Ireland take on Argentina, and you think the Argentinians run out of steam here?
Yeah, I think that clever rugby is required at this level, and obviously Ireland never been through there. So I'm giving them.
Always lost in the
they've already come through a quarterfinal in this World Cup that they wouldn't have seen before, and they're in. So, but I think that they've got the players. They are, and they've got the belief. Their under-20s are feeding through there. They've got the sportsmen in Ireland at the moment seem to be doing very well, and there's a lot of confidence about it. And I think that the support will be also behind Ireland rather, and that will help them.
Well, I think I agree with you. If Ireland win their quarterfinal, then you would expect them to be in the final. I mean, they've never won a quarterfinal. It's going to be a bogey for them, but if they win it, I think the confidence will take them all the way through to the final. Obviously, a final, anything can happen.
Geez,
But in
and it's
this
a big
case, yeah, would be South Africa, the defending world champions, against Ireland, the current Six Nations champions, who've actually beaten just about everybody on earth, but just never in a string of runs to win like a series and sort of take home the silverware. But
Yeah.
you reckon this year it's their year, eh?
You know, I remember going to watch a game. I was following the Springboks around, and I was watching a game I booked to go and watch at Lansdowne Road. I was going to watch the French play against Ireland, and we were going to whip them, and it was going to be a great day at the World Cup. I think it was a quarterfinal. Well, that year, I think it was 2003. I don't know, one of those years, but Ireland was beaten by Argentina, and I went to Lansdowne Road and I watched Argentina versus France. But this year, I think, and you know, you would have thought that with Brian O'Driscoll at the helm, you would have thought that they might have been able to squeak through, but they've just had, they just haven't had I can't. They're always underdogs, and the belief system isn't there. This year, I think they believe it. Their teams have been in finals, in the European finals, both teams, you know, the Leinster and Munster. This is their year. This is their year. Everyone is going to be St. Patrick's Day all over again after the final. Won't be a full glass in the house, and I don't think anyone will begrudge the Irish taking a World Cup. That's for certain.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great day for rugby. So yeah, everyone's an Irishman, eh? Ireland for their first World Cup. Thank you, Sean Robinson.
No worries. Thank you. Cheers, chicks.